Hey guys, this is a video about how to approach the Black Forest team game villager fight and walling situation that happens at the start of the game. It can happen on the flank as well as the pocket depending on the path that that the map generates. So in this one I'm playing as the flank Ethiopians and we've got a narrow passage over here and also a wide passage between my pocket and the flank. So at the start you do two houses and then queue up villages as usual, send your scout to make sure you get your cows in near the TC straight away, and then I queue up one villager and loom. That's sort of my default play on the Black Forest flank. I think in this situation, because there's quite a distance between my TC and the passage, I could have done two villagers then loom, and loom would have come in by the time that I've arrived, but it's not something that I was able to judge, so I just did my standard approach. So here I've sent my scout forward and I see blue's villager and scout. I made sure to not take any damage while my scout is outnumbered, and I'm sending three villagers. The reason why I sent three is because just in case this becomes a scrappy fight with the pocket sending vills or something like that. And immediately I've noticed that because I've sent three villagers, blue only had one villager forward at the start and he's being reinforced by one villager. So I've got a one villager advantage. He hasn't finished walling, and I've realized that I can potentially gain an advantage from this situation. So what I'm doing here is I'm running into his base. The reason I'm running into his base is because I want to try and put pressure on him, and if he doesn't engage me with his units, I'll be able to lane his resources. The most important thing to do when you're in a villager fight is to focus the enemy scout. The enemy scout is more valuable than a villager at the start of the game. The main reason why that is because if you don't focus the scout, your scout is more likely to get killed, and then the enemy scout can block your villagers running away because it's a faster unit. The other thing is the scout can push deer to your town center. So if you're able to kill the enemy scout, they can't push their deer to the TC, and you can push yours if you're able to keep yours alive. So here I'm just focusing the enemy scout, and I killed the enemy scout. Now I'm going to focus the pocket scout. I've got the first few hits on him, and my scout has a similar amount of HP to the pocket scout, and now I'm going for the blue player's deer and trying to lame his deer. So I've managed to pick up a cow as well. And then again, I'm just trying to focus getting some hits on the scout. I'm not too worried about the villagers in this particular situation because villagers are quite hard to kill. It takes quite a long time. So I've lamed 3 deer and 1 cow so far. And I've made blue pull villagers from under his town center to engage in the vill fight. So here I've got to go back because I'm outnumbered. But I know that because he's pulled the villagers from his TC, he's going to be having idle town center. I'm starting to rack up some at the moment because it's hard to continue to... Well, you can't really keep your TC running if you send 3 villagers at the start because it delays the villagers under your town center. You need 6 villagers on sheep to constantly produce from your TC. Here I've only got 5. Actually, I think maybe the 6th one has just come out and the food just hasn't been coming in quite as smoothly, so I'm starting to rack up. I've racked up 1 villager's worth of idle TC. Currently I'm even with blue, but I'm ahead because I've lamed his deer and he has currently only got 1 villager garrison under the TC and the other 2 are in the TC. So we're just going to pay attention to the idle villager counts here. So here it's still even. I'm going back. I unfortunately threw my scout away under the enemy player's TC, but I've also killed his scout. So here it's even. My ally has still got his scout here, but because there's so many villagers coming forward, we're going to have to go back. Now you can see that I've got 37 seconds of idle TC, but blue is starting to rack it up. So he's currently got 115, well, 1 minute 15, and it stops at 1 minute 18. So that's about a 1 villager advantage from me, represented in the score here, me being 11 vills and blue being on 9. So maybe a slightly more than 1 villager. So I'm sending my villagers back, and then we're going to continue to watch the idle TC just a little bit. So here we go again, it's still going up. Mine also has gone up to 48 seconds, but I'm still between 1 and 2 villagers ahead of blue at the moment. And now blue is going over to try and get some value out of the deer over there that have been lamed. So it's looking like about 1.5 villager advantage at the moment. So blue again, his idle TC starting to go up. He's going to mill the deer to try and get some extra value. That means that he's forced to make 2 mills, so he's had to spend an extra 100 wood that he wouldn't have had to probably spend otherwise. So that's also good damage. And here I'm up to 2 villagers advantage, 13 to 11. And then he says, you're a loser, because he was annoyed that I lamed him. So hopefully that's a nice little video on how to approach. I mean, it's not the best example because he didn't really do a good job at contesting me at the start. But if you do gain an advantage and you see an opportunity where you can go in and do some damage to your opponent like this, I think this is a good example to showcase. Thanks for watching, guys, and hope you look forward to the next video.